Last night I saw this meme. It was a joke that plays on English and Chinese language. For the sake of this video, the joke isn't important, but I thought it was funny and I laughed. Someone who did not know the language enough to get the joke posted this to indicate some confusion and seeing if anyone else felt the same. My first thought was to try and explain the joke, but then I thought, can AI explain the joke better than I can? Now, AI isn't very good with coming up with new jokes, if you ever tried it, but can it explain a joke? So I fired up ChatGPT and I asked it to explain. And it did. It explained it in quite a lot of details, as you can see. As I was reading the explanation, I thought it was rather unusual because I've never seen a human being explain a joke like this. So where did ChatGPT learn it from? So I asked it where it learned to explain a joke like that. So it turns out, and this is something new to me, humans do explain jokes a lot. When a joke fails or falls flat, or for cultural learning, or when they are doing professional analysis of comedy. There are even subreddits that are devoted to explaining jokes. That's where ChatGPT learned the patterns from as to how to explain jokes. And then it said something interesting. It said explaining a joke usually kills the humor, which made me think, then why did it explain the joke to me? What role was it playing when it came up with the explanation? And so it told me that it was playing the role of a translator teacher. And it fell into that role because it saw in my words some assumptions it can make about me. That I am multilingual, that I want clarity instead of comedy, or else I wouldn't have asked. That I enjoy metacognition and I value intention because I ask about why, which I do a lot. Now, these assumptions led it to adopt this translator-teacher role. I then asked it what other roles it could have adopted. It showed me these other responses it could have given if it had other roles. For instance, as a comedian, it could have riffed off the original joke. Or as a philosopher, it could have reflected on the nature of language. Or as a cultural guide, it could have told me something about Chinese, or as an analyst, it could have accepted the joke as data, or as a friend, it could have focused on how the joke made me feel, or as a rebel, it could have given us a snarky response. Isn't it interesting the many ways it could have responded? I'm sharing this with you because all this is allowing me to reflect and to think about human communications and how to be better at it. Whenever I'm communicating with someone, I'm making assumptions about the other person and I adopt a suitable role based on the assumptions. The other person is also making assumptions about me and adopting a suitable role as a result of it. Sometimes when communications is not going well, it would serve me to review my assumptions about the other person and perhaps adopt a different role that can improve the communication. Or maybe the other person wants something else. Maybe they want a listener, or they could want a mentor, or could be an advisor, or an encourager, or a problem solver, or even just someone to acknowledge the feelings without making any judgments. So all of these roles come from different assumptions, and it makes the conversation go in a different direction. It also probably would serve me to give the other person a break if they don't communicate as I expected, because they may have the wrong assumptions and they too are learning to adopt a more suitable role. And most of all, what it made me think of is that if I'm not aware of my assumptions about other people and I blindly adopt only one role, to talk exactly the same way about exactly the same things to everyone all the time, then I'm probably not a very good communicator. So the question for you is, what assumptions did you make in the last conversations you had? And what role did you adopt? Share it with me.